Welcome to my diagnosis series. Basically, I'm going to go through all of my conditions and kind of go through what they are, my treatments, etc. I have something called mast cell activation syndrome, which is an immunological condition. Mast cell involves a wide range of symptoms involving your GI system, cardiovascular system, respiratory, as well as neurological. It's when the mast cells excessively and inappropriately release chemical mediators, resulting in a wide range of symptoms. Symptoms can range from, but are not limited to, hives, fainting, flushing, itching, even anaphylaxis is another one, which is basically a severe, life-threatening allergic reaction. My personal symptoms are flushing, fainting is a huge one, anaphylaxis, and many other symptoms as well, just depending on what organ it's attacking at that moment. My symptoms actually attack my neuro system, my cardiovascular, as well as my GI. So I have problems like irritable bowel syndrome, and I have many neurological conditions, and they're just not explained. I've had tests done by neurology department, and they just don't know what it is. So when you have a lot of different symptoms that are coming from different parts of your body, and you've been tested for everything that it could be, but you keep getting these negative results, maybe think about seeing a doctor for mast cell activation syndrome. So basically, you have to figure out what your triggers are. Everybody has their own triggers, and it sometimes takes a little bit time to kind of figure that out. My triggers are fragrance is a big one. Fragrance and smoke, kind of like in the same bubble. I also have triggers with stress. Stress is a huge one for me. I also am highly, I don't want to say the word allergic, but allergic to sun. So that's a huge trigger. And it doesn't even have to be sun, it's just heat in general. So if, for instance, I am in a room that's just too hot, and it can be in the middle of the night with 20-degree weather outside, hence like right now, I'm actually pretty hot. My body can react to that. So those are my main three triggers, but I have other triggers as well, and you just kind of pinpoint what your triggers are so that you can work around that to help your symptoms out. So I'm pretty much allergic to everything. I mean, mostly everything, but I gotten tested before, and you don't really need to get tested for any allergies, but with mast cell, it helps, because then you can kind of know what you need to do. So I'm allergic to most of animals. I'm asymptomatic in a sense, what that means, like I don't have the typical allergies like the everyday person does. I don't have sneezing and itchy throat and nose and etc. Instead, I have mast cell issues, and mast cell is an allergy condition, but it's not an allergy condition. I'm also allergic to mold. All the molds there are different kinds of mold. I'm allergic to all of it. And I am allergic to everything environmental. Whether it be the trees or the grass or the air or pollen, I mean everything. They tested me. So in here in my state, they test you for the trees that are in this state. Of course, they can test you for more if you want, and I'm allergic to everything. I think the only thing I was not allergic to was horses, maybe, but I'm allergic to everything else. I was tested for food. I don't have any food allergies, which is typical common sense. You'll find out if you have a food allergy without having to be tested. And I'm not allergic to any medications that we know of. I do get sick immediately from medications to the point where I'm throwing it up and it's pointless to take it, but I'm not necessarily allergic to it. I'm also allergic to adhesive as well, pretty bad. So gotta figure out what your allergies are, because once you figure that out, you know, working around that will also help your symptoms with mast cell. So about treatments, Treatments are antihistamines and mast cell stabilizers. I'm on H1, H2 blockers, which is what you would typically start, which are like your basic allergy medications that are over the counter. You could also ask your doctor to do a prescription version. So H1, H2 blockers, and then cromulin is another one, which will be another like mast cell stabilizer. Not all insurances will cover it, so you definitely need to have paperwork that states that you are diagnosed with mast cell, just to kind of push along and hope that you will get accepted to get that as a prescribed medication. Some doctors will also do one of these, which is an EpiPen. It always comes 2 in a pack, just in case you may need the second one. And this is really good for those who have anaphylaxis. You may not have ever experienced anaphylaxis, but your doctors will prescribe it for you because of mast cell, because any moment it could happen, because you are allergic to so much and in a very different way than most who are allergic to like cats and dogs. So with this, it's one of those medications that you do not want to use unless you need it, unless it's a life-threatening allergy attack that you are having. Otherwise, there are other ways of treating your symptoms. Once you administer this into your leg, you do have to call 911 or make your way to the hospital, because you can have reactions after the fact. Plus, this is only short term. It's there just to help you at that very moment, and anything can happen once it dies off. So you need to make sure that you do see a doctor. So MCAS, mast cell activation syndrome, is often found in other patients, which is Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, EDS, and as well as POTS, which is also stands for Postural Orthostatic Tachycardia syndrome. And that will actually bring me into my next video, because I am also diagnosed with POTS, Postural Orthostatic Tachycardia syndrome, and I will see you for that next video. But I do want to say, if you have any questions, post them below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you do not like the video, give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. And if you are not following me on my Instagram, I have a personal Instagram based on all my health, which is _zebrastrong. And I'll see you next time. Thank you guys. Bye.